Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's your girl, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 1 of Daniel Warren Johnson's newest series, Murder Falcon. And holy crap, guys, just what a honestly just fun story. It's just I'll be honest, when I first heard about it, I almost I was skeptical. I almost thought I wouldn't pick it up when it came out. But looking back now, I'm so glad that I did because it was just such a fun story and just I I love Daniel Warren Johnson's art. It's just absolutely beautiful. That with Mike Spicer's coloring, it's just I absolutely love it. Um, his previous series with Skybound Extremity, sorry, the name got away from me for a second. Extremity, it was an absolutely beautiful story, beautifully written, beautifully drawn. The colors really brought the story to life, and I really found, I guess, an appreciation for his art through that series, and I highly suggest you guys pick that one up if you're interested. And so, with that being said, let's get right into it. So we start off pretty intensely right off the bat, and we see this monster that's just tearing up this city up to the point where a tank comes in to try and destroy it, but the creature destroys the tank first. And then all of a sudden, we see this clunky looking van roll in, and we see this guy step out with long flowing blonde hair and a guitar strapped to his back, and this police officer is like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm Jake." That's it. Like we're supposed to know who it is. And right as the monster's about to attack a mother and her baby, Jake calls out the monster and saying like there'll be no baby eating today. And the cop's like, "What are you doing? We've tried everything. You're just gonna get yourself killed." And then that's when Jake just grabs his guitar uh, out of his case and throws it over his shoulder and says, "I don't need weapons, officer. I have metal. No, I brought metal." And as soon as he has it on, he just shreds into it, and this huge flash of electricity just bursts forth from him, and we see Murder Falcon step through the lightning, I guess, and uh, he looks back to Jake saying, "Are you ready?" And Jake just says, "Let's do this." And we see Murder Falcon just getting ready to, beat the ever living crap out of this monster, and he just screams, "Metal will destroy all evil." And oh, what an awesome battle sequence! I mean, Extremity was one story to have a good amount of battle and action. It was just one of those series that really just had a lot to say. And so like I can see that happening with this one especially because it just seems so um well action packed. I guess of course it is. I mean, how much action can you expect from a title called Murder Falcon, And so we kind of jump back about 2 weeks before this incident, and we see Jake looking a little bit depressed, sitting on a park bench, and that's when one of his friends, Jonathan, rolls up and says, like, "Are you taking the bus back? Where's the dragon wagon?" And it's in the shop. Apparently, I guess it was their bandwagon, if you'll excuse the pun, and turns out Jonathan and I forgot his name, Jake, were in the same band together until about a year ago that I guess they had a falling out, and so um, Jonathan's trying to figure out like trying to get more information on him, like asking how he's doing, is he still playing, like hey, we can still get the band back together. A lot of people really appreciated their music and their style. Um, but but Jake just doesn't really seem motivated for it. He doesn't seem all that I guess um well, yeah, motivated to want to play. And even then his guitar is kind of trash, as we saw in that one picture. And so once Jonathan drops Jake off at his apartment, I believe it's an apartment. Yeah, it's an apartment. There's a music repair shop. Well, Nate's music repair shop, and Nate, the owner, invites a very hesitant Jake out to dinner just to catch up and um, reminisce. Really, he also mentions like you should bring your guitar. You should bring your guitar, that guitar of yours, in for tune up. But Jake says my guitar is way beyond saving. So I mean, obviously, it's, it kind of hurts not having your um, one of the things that's your, I guess, your escape, because like me personally, I love playing piano. It was one of my absolute greatest. Well, I guess it was the one thing I could go to escape. Excuse me. To escape and to express myself, because it just, I love music. Music's like my number one passion in life, and to be honest, if you were to listen to my playlist in the car, it would probably scare you, because I go from like instrumental music to country to rock to metal to death metal to rap, hip hop, and just I go all over the place. Like it's intense. It's intense. Whatever. Anyway, we see Nate and Jake talking at this diner, and the waitress comes over. This older looking woman, and she's covered in tattoos. Like that's absolutely amazing for one thing, and she's talking to Jake, saying, "I've got your stuff. I've had your stuff on repeat lately. You should get back on that horse. I need new material." Um, but he's not really playing at the moment, and so Jake ends up back at his apartment after the dinner with Nate. Yeah, Nate. And as he's walking in, he looks to the corner where his guitar is laying in pieces, and then he hears a growl. And then out of um, out of one door of his room, this giant spider-like creature comes through, just hissing at him. And he's like, "What the heck?" And he's panicking, and so he grabs the first thing he can, which is his battered guitar. And as soon as he gets ready to like whack this spider with it, it comes alive in his hands, and we see that flash of electricity again, and all of a sudden the guitar is in his, like strapped around his shoulder, and it's fully repaired. It's not, I mean, it's not the same guitar as it was before, but as he's like shocked by this transformation, we see Murder Falcon standing before him, and Jake's just like, who the hell are you? And of course he's like, my name is Murder Falcon. And he's like, murder what? But he doesn't really get much of an explanation, because as soon as he starts talking, the spider attacks Murder Falcon, and he can't really do much. And so he says, quickly, Jake, play something, just anything. And so Jake's kind of hesitating. He's like, this can't be happening. Like I don't know what's going on. And then we get a bit of a flashback in between this, and we see someone with an IV. We see the IV bags on a stand, and then we see this girl saying, "Hi, I love your playing." But as Murder Falcon jumps back into frame, saying, "Play the guitar, play anything." Jake finally jumps out of his hesitation and just just plays. He just uh strums his guitar, and Murder Falcon suddenly has this burst of energy to fight this creature. And so Jake continues to keep playing up until Murder Falcon uh, kicks the head off of this spider, and all you see is the lettering saying decapitated. Fun fact: Daniel Warren Johnson is actually the writer, penciler, colorist, and letterer of this series, along with Mike Spicer as the colorist and Rus Wooton as the letterer. So he's I'm sorry, he's the creator, artist, and writer plus letterer. So he's got a lot on his plate, and not only that, we have the amazing Mike Spicer and Rus Wooton adding to the mix. So that's pretty impressive, honestly. And so after this has been taken care of, Murder Falcon and Jake have a moment to you know introduce each other, and uh, MF, I'm just gonna call him MF, or um, I don't know what to call him. Just call him Murder Falcon. He continues to say, "Wow, indeed. I was told in the heavy that your playing was impressive. I can see now that they were conservative with their words." And so he turns to Jake saying, "Together with the power of rock, we might be able to fix the terror that haunts all humans." And Jake's like, "What the heck are you talking about?" And turns out the tear, as Murder Falcon explains it, is a portal to another dimension inhabited by the king of all hatred and fear. His name is Magnum Chaos. And he has been planning this attack for centuries. He feeds off human anxiety and cruelty, secretly seeking their negative energy to his dark world. You can have all my anxiety because it's all over the place. He now has the fuel he needs to power this passageway to bring these monsters, the Velder, whatever, to your planet in order to enslave all of humanity. And he says, but with your help, Jake. But Jake stops him there. He's like, you're recruiting me to this craziness to defeat monsters with music? Like, I can barely keep myself together. I lost my band after I lost everything. Um, he says, I pushed everyone out to protect myself. How can I help you? Like, I'm worthless to you. But that's when Murder Falcon says, where I come from, Jake, there are many like me, linked to instruments like the one you hold in your hands. My coming here was not by accident. I chose you. Um, you're talented, kind, resilient. There's a spark inside you, even though you try to hide it, and it is that spark through that guitar that helps me to fight evil. And um and that's when Jake mentions, what kind of name is Murder Falcon anyways? It's kind of intense. But um Murder Falcon says, don't worry, Jake, I only murder monsters. And then we jump back to the beginning between this fight with Murder Falcon and that monster tearing up the city, and we see Jake just shredding it on his guitar, and um and Murder Falcon busts out this move called Fists of a Thousand Phrygian Suns. I don't know how to pronounce that really, but that seems to do enough to uh, blow this creature's head off, honestly. And it just drops to the floor in front of them, and they won. And so, um, and so one of the things Murder Falcon says is melting faces, killing bad guys, a great victory. And the mother he say or no, um, Murder Falcon is thanked by the mother, and he's like, "Don't thank me, ma'am. Thank metal." And Jake's like, "So, what now?" And all Murder Falcon has to say is beer. I like how you can't see his eyes under his bandana, but there are moments where you can see his eyes. It's pretty crazy. It's always been a thing that like I guess tickled me. And so now we see them jamming out on top of the dragon wagon, and they're rocking out. They're having some fun. And so when the song changes, there's a new song playing where it ends up bringing uh, some kind of memory back to Jake, where we saw that woman in that previous flashback, where they're together. They're getting married. Then they're in a doctor's office, and that's when Murder Falcon asks, "Do you still miss her?" And then we get this, oh guys, this beautiful spread of lake where Murder Falcon and Jake are parked at, and Jake says every day. But not only that, we also see this giant crab-like monster just sitting in the lake, just staring at them, not doing anything really. And that's when Murder Falcon's like, "How long has that creature been there?" And it's like, "A while. It hasn't moved though. It just sits there." And that's when Murder Falcon says, "These monsters are getting bolder, stronger, bigger. More cities are reporting attacks every day. I think you know what we have to do." And that's when Jake's like, "How can I help people when I'm so messed up?" Murder Falcon says, "By doing what you've always done best, shredding. Will you help me, Jake? Will you help me get your band back together?" And that's the end of this issue. And holy crap, guys! Like, I'm I'm excited. I'm excited for this series. I mean, I really enjoyed Extremity, if I haven't said that enough already. And it was just, it had to do with the same thing. Giant monsters in this kind of apocalyptic style wasteland, with old style uh, civilizations and everything. But with with that mix thrown into a more modern day setting, like this is intense. And just this the silly detail of music being a weapon against these things. It's just it's funny, but it's honestly really cool. Absolutely digging it. And so with that being said, I really hope you guys pick up this series, because it's, trust me, with Daniel Warren Johnson's art, Mike Spicer's colors, and the whole team's just work together. It's it's gonna be an absolutely beautiful series, because like I said, Extremity, pick that up if you can as well. You'll see exactly why I'm excited about this series. And so with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications of when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.